Millie? Are you there? I just wanted to thank you for today. I know I've been keeping you waiting for a long time, but I just wanted to thank you for your patience and for agreeing to marry me.
No, Arnie, thank you so much. You have no idea how long I had been waiting for this. I was so happy when you got down on one knee for me and asked if I would marry you. I can't tell you how many times I had pictured you doing that exact same thing in my head.
I know, I can't believe that we're finally engaged now. We started dating when we were both 23 years old, and it's been 7 happy years together with you.
I know that this doesn't mean that things are going to be perfect between us from now on. I'm sure that there are going to be plenty of challenges that we'll have to go through from here on out. But I'm just happy that we'll be going through them together.
I know what you mean, Millie. I really am so happy about how things went.
I know. This was a perfect day, and I'm so grateful to have someone like you in my life, Arnie.
By the way, how exactly do you think we should go about making the announcement to my dad? And your dad, for that matter. I guess there's a lot of people we're going to have to make calls to now. And given that both of our dads work in the same company, they basically see each other every single day. Maybe we should just go see them at work and tell them both at the same time.
Yeah, I was also wondering about what the best way to go about doing that would be. But I think that might be a nice way to get 2 birds with 1 stone.
So, then you just want to go to their office tomorrow when we can tell them then?
I really think that any time would work for me. I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow. So as long as we find a time that works for all 4 of us, it shouldn't be a problem.
Great. In that case, I'll ask my dad when he thinks would be a good time to go over and be able to talk to the 2 of them at the same time. When he gets back to me, I'll let you know what he said, and we can decide our plan.
Sounds good to me. Thank you for doing that, Arnie. I appreciate you asking about that. Also, speaking of telling people about our engagement, have you put any thought into how we should go about telling your mom?
I've actually been trying specifically not to think about that, if I can be perfectly honest with you.
Well, it's not like I can't understand why. I mean, when we first started dating, she was always telling you to break up with me since my dad was a single father. I mean, we didn't even tell her that we were actually in a relationship until after your parents split up. But we were dating for a whole 4 years before that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom actually still isn't sure whether or not we're still dating. Although, judging from some of the things she says, I'm not sure she knows that we are. I think maybe she didn't really understand when we tried to tell her that we were dating because she was so wrapped up in the divorce and all that.
Right. Well, now that we've come this far, I wonder how she's going to react hearing that we are in fact dating each other right now. More than that, we've just gotten engaged. It's going to be a shock to her.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll have to think of a way that we can tell her about it without giving her too much of a surprise.
Do you think something like that is even going to be possible?
Well, it's been about 4 years since her and my dad have gotten a divorce. And the last time that I talked to her was after that happened, to try and tell her we were still dating. But I haven't spoken with my mom since then. I mean, we're basically estranged if you think about it. To be perfectly honest, I was thinking that we really don't even have to invite her to the wedding if we don't want to. And I think my dad would probably agree with me on that one.
You really feel that way? Well, I guess you would know better than me since I've hardly interacted with her as well.
I know, that is one thing that I regret between us. I should have explained all of this more clearly to you. But I'm sure you can see why that was difficult for me after you met my mom.
Please don't beat yourself up about this at all, Arnie. I know that you were just thinking about my well-being and how I was going to interact with her. I really do appreciate you looking out for me.
Thank you for being so understanding. You don't know how lucky you make me feel to be with you. I really am so happy that we're engaged now. It really is like a dream come true, Millie.
I feel the exact same way. It's like I said, I know that we might have some challenges up ahead, but we'll get through them together.
I know that we will. Anyways, I'm going to talk to my dad and ask him what time he thinks we could go over to see him. I'll let you know what he says.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for doing that, Arnie.
Arnie, are you there? You've got some serious explaining to do, young man. I happened to hear from a friend of mine the other day that you were going to be getting married today. What is the matter with you, son? Why wouldn't you tell me, your own mother, that this was going to be happening? Why am I having to find out through the grapevine and the day before it's happening? Well, lucky for you, I know how to act fast. I've already found a place that's willing to rent me a dress, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to make an appointment at the hair salon. But I have no idea just what you're thinking, trying to hold a wedding without your own mother there. Who ever heard of that happening? Anyways, I'm on my way to the wedding right now, so I'll see you soon. Hello there. I take it that this is the phone number for Millie, yes? I really have to say, I am just shocked to see you here at my son's wedding. I mean, just what on earth do you think you're doing here, huh? I thought you and my son broke up years ago. I have no idea why in the world Arnie would invite an ex to his wedding. But I want you to know that you seem to be acting awfully close with my son. I just want you to know that you better not be thinking of trying to flirt with him or anything like that. Because I am not going to have some little girl who was only raised by her father hanging around my perfect little boy. I told you years ago that you both needed to break up. And I haven't changed how I feel about since then. Do you understand me? I realize that a lot has changed since my days when men were worried about the age of their wife or if they were divorced before. But this is too much. You need to quit stalking my son and realize that you've already lost him, okay? It's over. So just leave him alone and let him get married. So you thought you could just ignore the messages that I was sending you, huh? Well, I didn't go through the trouble of hunting down your number just to be ignored. Just remember that you forced me to take things into my own hands, got it?
I was wondering who it was that came up behind me, grabbed me by my collar, and started dragging me out of the venue. And lo and behold, when I turned around, it was you. I didn't even think that you were invited to the wedding in the first place, isn't that right?
You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm Arnie's mother, of course I'm invited. I just have a right to be here. But as for you, I want to know just what you think you're doing here. Don't you know that Arnie ended things with you a long time ago? I want to know what you're doing here.
What am I doing here? Did you? Seriously, just ask me that? I think that I'm here for my wedding day, thank you very much.
What on earth are you talking about? You think that you're going to marry my son? You're just his creepy little stalker. You must really be crazy if you think that this wedding here today has anything to do with you. At all. Don't you realize that Arnie is here to get married to his real bride? You need to learn your place and leave him alone.
Learn my place? How's this for my place? You do know that I'm Arnie's boss, don't you?
What do you mean by that? His boss of what? What are you going on about now, you delusional woman?
Look, I'm going to go back into that venue and I'm going to get married. But you were never even invited here in the first place.
But that can't be right. I'm Arnie's mother. Of course I'm welcome to be here.
No, you're not. Arnie didn't invite you and you two haven't even spoken in years. Don't you get it?
What are you saying? That he's cut me out of his life or something like that?
Arnie, are you there? I think we have to talk about something really quickly.
Millie, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. Are you okay? What happened? I was just stepping out to get some stuff from the car while helping to set up, and I noticed that my mom started sending me some messages. She said something about how she was going to force her way into the wedding if it was the last thing she does. Have you seen her around here?
Oh, I've done more than just see her. We had a little altercation, actually.
You mean you and her bumped into each other? That's crazy! What happened?
Well, after you stepped out, she barged her way into the building and grabbed me by my collar out of the venue. She grabbed my collar and my wrist, and I think she really hurt my right hand. Thankfully, I'm left-handed, but still, I'm not happy to be getting married after suffering an injury from your mom. But thankfully, one of the friends who was helping us decorate is a doctor, and he looked at it. He said it isn't serious, and it shouldn't cause any serious problems for us.
Got it. Well, that's really good to hear, but if my mom is here, then I'm going to try and find my dad so we can figure something out.
Please do. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last that you see of your mom today. So if you can handle her, that would be great.
Mom? What in the world do you think that you're doing here, huh? You've got some nerve showing your face around here.
Arnie, what a pleasant surprise. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. What do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm your mom and I'm here for your wedding.
But you weren't even invited in the first place. You know that, right?
What do you mean by that? I thought that was some kind of mistake or something.
No, it wasn't a mistake at all. I didn't invite you to my wedding, and we haven't even talked in years. I didn't even send you a wedding announcement, much less an invitation. Just how did you even figure out this was happening today? And more importantly, just what made you think that you were entitled to be here when you weren't invited and we haven't talked in forever?
But Arnie, please, you're being unreasonable.
I'm being unreasonable? You attacked my bride at a wedding you weren't even invited to! Just go home already.
Now you listen to me, son. Like it or not, I am your mother and I belong here.
We don't even have any preparations for you to just show up like this.
How could you do this to me? I thought that you broke up with that sad little girl. I told you that you were not going to be marrying someone raised by a single father.
And just who cares if she was raised by her dad? Why does that matter to you at all?
Because there is no way that a single father would know how to raise a girl well. Not to mention the fact that it probably means the two of them are poor.
And you actually out of your mom mind? First of all, Millie's father is a doctor.
Wait, what? Millie's father is a doctor?
That's right. He's a doctor who actually is a partner in several different clinics around town.
Wait, so he's a doctor and an entrepreneur.
Why are you pretending like you didn't know any of this? I know for a fact that I told you all of this when I first told you that Millie and I were dating.
Did you really tell me? I guess that I just don't remember is all.
Well, I did say so.
But I don't remember that. You can't be mad at me for that.
I don't know what I'm going to do with you, Mom. You're just such a prejudiced, judgmental person, and you never listen to anyone. Now look, Millie and I are going to be getting married tomorrow, and nothing is going to change that.
Arnie, don't you realize what you're doing?
Much better than you do, Mom. Much better than you do. Now do not interrupt our wedding again, or else.
Millie, are you there? We have seriously got to talk about something right now. I didn't believe you when you said it about Arnie, but are you really his boss? But more importantly than that, I was asking around and found out that you're my husband's boss as well?
Well, you two got a divorce 4 years ago, so I'm not sure if he's your husband anymore.
I didn't ask your thoughts about my relationship status. Just answer the questions. I didn't even know that he was even working for the same company that you were. So I want you to tell me why he's working with you and why he's working under you. Answer me right now!
Well, if you really must know, your husband's company went bankrupt 2 years ago.
Wait, you're telling me that my ex-husband's company went bankrupt 2 years ago?
That's literally what I just typed, yes. Anyways, I heard about that from Arnie and there just happened to be some openings in my company. So, I put in a good word for him, he went through the hiring process, and in the end he was placed in my department where I'm the supervisor. So yeah, I was able to give him a strong recommendation, and because I knew his skills, I knew that he would be a good fit for my department.
So that's it. It all makes sense now.
Sorry, what makes sense? I don't really trust that you know anything at all of what's going on.
I mean that in the background, it was always you.
Sorry, was that me? Literally, what are you talking about this time?
I mean that on the day of your wedding, when I dragged out of the venue, I told my husband that I wanted to be with him again. I told him that the only reason I said that Arnie couldn't marry you was because I was thinking about his happiness. I thought that if my ex knew that I was only thinking of our son, that he would take me back. But he said no. He said that he would never, ever marry me again. He told me that you attacked his boss and marrying you would ruin his career. I had no idea what he was talking about until I put it together that he had to be referring to you. So, this is all your fault. This is all part of your plan to ruin my life.
I'm sorry, but I was never doing anything like that, and I don't care about who you marry. You and your husband divorced for your own reasons. And from what I hear, it mostly had to do with you spending all the money your ex made. You were so greedy and selfish that he realized he just couldn't be with you anymore.
How dare you say that to me? You don't know what you're talking about. You need to learn some respect.
I really don't. In fact, this whole conversation is just silly. The next time you hear from it, it will be through my lawyer talking about our lawsuit.
You're going to be suing me? For what?
For breaking into a wedding that you weren't invited to and spraining my wrist. Now, goodbye. Apparently, Danny's selfishness and poor spending habits only worsened after her divorce. I found out later that she was swimming in debt from all of this. I think her approaching her husband was an attempt to find someone to pay her debts. She thought that if she could protect her son from his stalker, that he might take her back. It's just too bad she didn't realize that that stalker was her son's fiancé and ex's boss. The lawsuit proceeded and Danny was forced to pay for my injuries as well as the fee for the trespassing. I told her that I wouldn't cancel her legal fees if she agreed to sign a restraining order. And Danny realized she had no choice but to agree if she didn't want to go deeper into debt. She was also banned from contacting me ever again, while Arnie blocked her on every medium he could think of. Things are back to business as usual, however, except that now Arnie and I are happily married.
Hey, Cody, it's been a week since we last talked about it. Can you sign the divorce paper already? I'm gonna put Mia down for bed early tonight, so maybe we can do it then?
You mean it's only been a week? You have to realize that it came out of the blue for me. You gotta give me some time to properly think about this.
I want a divorce.
I know that.
So what's the point of giving you some time to think?
Maybe nothing, but are you sure we can't work things out anymore? If it's something I did wrong, you can tell me and I'll fix it, so please, can you give this a second thought?
This is the result of me thinking for a long time. And it's not because you did anything wrong.
Then why?
Like I told you the other day, it's me. I just don't have any feelings for you anymore.
That just means that you don't find me attractive as a man anymore, right?
I guess.
How about as a person? Don't you still love me like family? Or can you not stand me so much that we can't even live together anymore?
No, it's not like that, but I think this would happen sooner or later. I gave this a lot of thought too, you know. Mia is only 5, and it would be better for her if I could find a way to work things out as a family. But I couldn't.
Please give me a bit more time with her. At least until she's old enough.
Old enough? What exactly do you mean by old enough?
Like high school, maybe?
So you're asking me to live with someone I don't love for that long? Isn't that a living hell for both me and Mia? Wouldn't it be better for her if we just did this while she's still young?
I'm sorry. I let my selfish desire get the best of me.
No, I'm sorry too. Even though you're a good husband and a good father for Mia, this is all happening because of my feelings, so I'm really sorry, Cody.
I guess there really isn't anything I can say to change your decision anymore, is there?
No.
Okay, I will sign the divorce paper. As for Mia's custody, who should have her?
What do you mean who? Of course she's coming with me. She's only 5 years old. It's always better to stay with the mother while they're young. And you can't be with her during the day even if you take her.
You might be right, but I can always look for daycare or a babysitter.
No, definitely not. I don't want to compromise my time with Mia. I promise I will raise her properly, and I have no intention to look for a new relationship for a while. I will prioritize her at least until she's in elementary school. And I will only start thinking about work or relationship after that.
I'm planning on using as much time as I can for Mia too. And I'm sure my parents would be more than happy to help as well.
You do realize that I'm Mia's mom and I gave birth to her, right?
Yes, and I'm her dad!
We are not the same. I carried her inside me for 9 months. I'm the one who had to be in labor. Even if we were to fight over her custody, they will always favor the mother anyways. I will make sure to set up frequent visitation for you two to meet, so can't we just agree on this?
Fine.
I know you care about her deeply, so I will make sure to still ask for your opinions on how to raise Mia. And don't worry, I will make sure she knows you are her father.
Okay, I guess it could be worse. You can have her custody then.
Thanks. Let's talk about the details on alimony and child support later when you come home. I know you're in the middle of work right now, so...
Yeah, I should go back. Say hi to Mia for me. Hey, Jessica, about this month's visitation. How long do I have to wait until you let me see Mia? It's already the middle of the month and I still haven't heard anything from you.
I'm sorry, I haven't been feeling well enough to reach out.
Oh, are you sick? Are you okay? I can take care of Mia until you feel better if that's the case.
No, it's okay, it's not that bad. I'm getting better now anyway.
Well, you could have at least replied to my texts then.
Sorry, I just forgot. Oh, but this month might not work for us actually.
Why not?
We're planning on visiting my parents for a while.
I see. How long are you planning on staying there for?
Well, I haven't decided on the exact dates, but probably about a month.
What, that long?
Yep, because it'll be difficult to have a long holiday like this once Mia's in school, And I'm planning on going back to work pretty soon, so this might be our last chance to relax together for a while.
I see.
But because we have to skip this month, I promise to let you spend more time with her next month.
I guess that works. But please keep your promise this time. I am paying for her child support, after all. I'm doing my part.
Of course! I really appreciate you supporting us. I get to stay with her at home because of that.
Even if we are apart, I'm still her dad. I'm just doing my fair share, so you don't need to thank me.
I do hear a lot of stories about ex-husbands not paying any child support. So I guess I'm very fortunate and I shouldn't take this for granted.
Well, those guys are wrong for not supporting their children.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Cody. I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything when I haven't even been able to set up your visitations, but can I ask you for a favor?
Favor?
You know how I told you that I wasn't feeling well for a while? The medical bills haven't been cheap because of that. And oftentimes I wasn't well enough to even prepare any meals, so I had to order takeout. Because of that, we're pretty tight this month, and I was wondering if you could help us a little more this time?
What? I thought I'm giving you more than enough every month. And aren't you receiving childcare from the government as well?
I'm sorry.
That's not really answering my questions. So, how much do you need then?
You're helping me?
I don't have a choice. I have to think about Mia.
Oh, thank you. $300 should cover everything for now.
Okay, I will wire that amount later.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's only this time. Also, when are you planning on moving out from that condo? I'm still paying for the mortgage there, so I'd like to sell it as soon as possible.
I am looking for a place, but I haven't had any luck. But I promise we'll find a place before Mia is in school for sure. Just give me a bit more time, please?
Okay, if that's the case. But I'm not waiting longer than that.
Of course.
Oh, speaking of which, about our neighbors, the Williams.
Oh, what about them?
I bumped into them on the street the other day, and they were wondering why they haven't seen me around lately. But I was in a rush to go meet one of my customers for work, and I didn't have time to explain about our divorce.
I don't think they need to know.
Well, yeah, but I did exchange contact info with Mr. Williams in the past.
Yeah, I guess you helped him with his computer once.
Yeah, that's why I kind of felt obligated to let him know.
But Mia and I wouldn't stay here for much longer. I don't think it's necessary at this point. I will let them know if they ask me directly. How's that? I don't think we need to go out of our way to tell them about this unless they ask.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Though I do feel bad that I couldn't give them a proper goodbye. But I guess I can talk to them if they ever reach out.
Yeah, I think that's good. Well, I think I should prepare to put Mia in bed soon. I'll make sure to set up a video call for you to talk with her sometime.
Yeah, thanks. Any time works for me as long as it's not during my work hours.
Hi, Cody. It's been a while. This is your neighbor, Catherine Williams. Hopefully, I have the right number.
What, Mrs. Williams? Yes, you do have the right number, but is everything okay?
I got your number from my husband since this is an emergency. He's away on business and I know the situation better, so...
Emergency?
Yes, you and Jessica both should know. That it is very irresponsible to let a 5-year-old stay at home all alone like this. I don't like to interfere and tell you how to raise your child, but this is outrageous. She's here with me right now. It doesn't matter even if you think you have a good reason.
Actually, Mrs. Williams, we got divorced a while ago and I don't live there anymore.
You guys got divorced?
Yes, I wanted to tell you the other day. But I didn't have time to explain things properly since I was on my way to see my customer.
Oh, is that so? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Don't be. You are right to be upset about this. Could you tell me more about what's happening? Is it true Mia was staying home all by herself? I'm sure Jessica is around, no?
I didn't see her anywhere. I saw Mia playing by herself in the hallway around 3 in the afternoon today. And I asked her what she's doing, but she started crying saying there's nobody home. I felt bad, but I let myself in to make sure there really isn't anyone home. So I left a note saying she'll be here with me and waited until now, but...
You decided to reach out because neither of us came by to pick her up.
Yes, that's right. but I didn't even imagine that you two were broken up. Do you think she left because she was devastated about the divorce? There must have been some important reason for her to leave Mia all alone like this.
I don't think our divorce is the reason, since she's the one who asked for a divorce. That's why I had to move out.
Oh, is that what happened? I'm sorry to hear that. And I apologize for jumping to conclusions.
No, anybody would be shocked to find a 5-year-old being left all alone at home. I'll head over there right now to pick her up.
She's already asleep, but it'll be better if she's with you. I wonder what happened to Jessica, though. Maybe if you check inside the house, you'll find something that I didn't. The house was, a bit unusual, to be honest.
Unusual? What do you mean by that?
It looked like she planned to be away for a while now that I think about it. There were lots of drinks and snacks stacked on the table. And there was trash everywhere.
What?
Anyways, you'll know what I mean if you see it. I think you should go check to see what's going on before you talk to Jessica.
Hey Jessica, it's almost time for my video call with Mia. Are you around? Can I call you now?
Hey, Cody, I'm sorry. Can we skip the call today?
What? Why?
It seems like Mia came down with a cold, so I already put her in bed today.
I see. Can I talk to your parents then? You are still at their place right now, right?
I am, but why do you need to talk to them?
Because I haven't had a chance to properly talk to them during the divorce.
You don't need to. It'll be very awkward for both you and them. So you really don't need to worry about it.
I would still like to talk to them.
They're also saying they'd rather not.
You are lying.
I'm not lying. They really are saying they don't want to.
They're here with me, actually.
What?
So, you lied about staying with your parents.
I'm sorry. I actually went on a trip with a friend. You know how I asked you for a bit more financial help? Because of that, it was difficult for me to tell you about the trip.
Where did you take off to for 2 weeks? Leaving Mia at home all alone? The reason why you couldn't let me talk to her on the video call is because you finally realized that she's not home anymore, correct?
How? Did you take her with you? Is that why she's not home?
Answer my questions. Where have you been for the past 2 weeks?
I'm sorry.
I don't need your apologies right now. Just tell me everything.
The part about me taking a trip with a friend is the truth. And the part about leaving Mia at home by herself as well.
What were you thinking? We are lucky that our neighbor, Mrs. Williams, noticed that Mia is all alone, but what do you think would have happened if she really had to stay all by herself for 2 weeks? Did you really think a 5-year-old can survive?
Well, Mia is pretty mature for a 5-year-old, and I did leave enough food for her, so...
She can't even open a water bottle by herself. And you only left a bunch of snacks, not food. Or do you consider those to be proper meals?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm going to talk to Child Services about this.
What?
I'm taking custody of Mia as well.
No, please. Please, you can't do that.
You did this to yourself. You shouldn't have asked to take her if you weren't going to be there for her in the first place. You failed as a mother.
Please, I'll give you the custody. So please don't make this into a big deal. Please.
Are you asking me this because you don't want your boyfriend to find out?
How do you know about him?
I searched the house and I went to pick Mia up. You left your old phone you were using while we were married. And I saw that your lock screen was a picture of you and some guy. So, you wanted a divorce because you guys were having an affair, right?
No, it's not like that. It wasn't an affair. He didn't know that I was married.
But you knew that it was an affair.
No, I didn't do anything.
I'm sure I can find out more if I ask the guy. I'm heading over there right now. Tell him that I want to talk to him.
No, please. He doesn't even know that I have a daughter. And he has no idea that I was married. I was going to let you have Mia once he proposed. So please, you can have her. I'll even pay you back some child support payments, so please don't tell him anything.
Did you do all this just to get child support from me in the first place?
No, of course not. I just didn't want to be separated from Mia.
How am I supposed to trust anything you say now? I will never forgive you for leaving Mia at home all alone. I'm definitely holding you accountable for this.
I'm so sorry. I'll never do this ever again.
Of course not! I will never let this happen again.
Yes, so please. Please, leave him out of this. I'm begging you. I will do anything.
Why would I listen to someone who's not my wife nor a proper mother to my child? I don't even think you are a human being for being able to leave a 5-year-old alone like that. You better learn a lesson from betraying and hurting both Mia and I like this. And don't ever call yourself a mother ever again! Right after that, her parents and I went over to her place to confront her directly. The reason why I was able to go there so quickly is because I knew that she would come home on the day we had the video call scheduled. Once we were inside, her father took her phone and made her unlock it to talk to the boyfriend about all this. And we found out that he really had no idea about our marriage or about Mia. After we told him about what Jessica did to Mia, he broke things off with her and told her that he never wants to see her again. Jessica burst into tears after being told that, but her parents kept scolding her, and they made her promise to pay me back some child support, to give me custody and paid child support going forward as well. After that, her parents brought her to their home with them. The reason why they did that is because they couldn't trust that she would pay me back or make the child support payments if she was left unsupervised. I don't know if she's still there with them or not, but she is making payments every month without fail. I asked her parents how she's doing once, but they told me that it's better I don't know. So I haven't asked them since. I don't care what happens to her as long as she stays away from us. As for Mia, it's unfortunate that she had to go through all that while she's so young. But now she's living a happy life with me and my parents. It seems like there were a lot of times she had to be alone when she lived with Jessica. So she followed me around everywhere for a while, but she's settled in now. There's always someone home here now, so I think she's enjoying that. But a shocking experience is hard to shake, even if you were very young. I'm going to do everything in my power to overwrite all those sad and scary memories with happy and fun memories.